36 in my top 50 games in my collection countdown. This one's Takenoko. It is a um, gamer's game. Um, and by that I mean it's a lot different than your traditional um, classic Hasbro big box on the shelf Milton Bradley games. Um, so it's been on my shelf for over a year. It's since I played it. So bear with me. Because I'm trying to remember the rules. It's but it's still 36 for a reason because it's a solid game. So the backstory to Takenoko um, is the Emperor of China has gifted the Emperor of Japan a panda to mend relations. This is set back when they weren't getting along so well, ancient times, and you are trying to create a garden for the panda to live in to make the Japanese emperor happy. That's your job as the part of the Japanese court. So during your turn, you can move the panda, move the gardener, add to the board, and I'll get into all that in a little bit. It plays 2 to 4 players. It's best with 3 or 4. Takes about an hour to play. The mechanic that I want to talk about in this game is a modular board, so you're going to be building the board as you play, and that's part of the game piece. So you'll be placing these um, garden patches where the bamboo will grow. So at the start of the game, you'll get 3 objective cards, which will score you victory points if you complete the objective on them. There's one for the garden, so if you make a pattern in the garden of 3 green bamboo tiles like that, you will get 2 victory points. Um, if the panda eats 2 yellow pieces of bamboo, you would get 4 victory points. And if you manage to build a 4 high piece of bamboo with the gardener card, so there's 3 different types of cards, the gardener card, you would get 5 victory points. And it has to be a fenced in area, but I'll get to that in a second. So during your turn, like I said, bear with me, you're going to roll a die for randomness to see what happens. And you have 2 actions that you can do during your turn normally, so you get 2 little tokens, and you can't do the same action twice. Unless you roll the one of the sides that says you can do oh, it's not that one, but the wind side lets you do the same action twice. There's a rain side that grows the bamboo. There's the sun side, which is a beautiful day. You get 3 actions. There's the lightning side, so it's kind of like the weather die, which scares the panda and lets you move the panda for free. And then there's the side that gives you one of these extra tokens. And then there's the question mark, which means you get to pick what you want to do. So you do that. That adds a little chaos into the game, to be honest. And then you have 5 actions, one of 2 of 5 different actions that you can do. One is you can draw the top 3 tiles of the stack, pick one, and place it. So say I wanted remembering my goals, I'm going to play this one, try to make the pattern of 3. So I pick the green one, these 2 go back on the bottom, and now you got to think gardening. Bamboo's not going to grow without water, so it's next to the pond, so it's automatically irrigated, so a piece of bamboo will start to grow there. Did I use a base piece? Nope, I used the base piece. Like I said, bear with me. And then the panda and the gardener start there, start in the pond piece. So that's that. Second, you can take an irrigation piece and keep it on your player board or use it immediately. To irrigate outside of the pond, you have to essentially run these water irrigation channels to where the other tiles you place are going to be in order for the bamboo to grow. You can move the gardener as one of your actions. So if you move the gardener and he goes to the space, the bamboo grows because he's working the field. The bamboo will grow for each adjacent field or touching field adjacent that is of the same color. So he's working that whole area. So that would grow, and that would, oh, actually it wouldn't because it's not irrigated. So like I said, there's a lot of moving parts to this game. You move the panda is another one of your actions. So you move him there, and he eats it. Nope, nope, nope. And with that, you'll keep it on your player board, and then if you ever have the correct pieces, like 2 green pieces, on your player board, then you can turn them in and get the victory points. The game plays until, depending on player count, a certain number of one player meets a certain number of objectives. So I think it's 7 different cards turned in with a 4-player game. 8 with a 3, 9 with a 2-player game. There's other things you can do to the tiles, like this tile has a fence around it. It means the panda can't eat here, so I just broke the rules because I had the panda eat there, but it's for demonstration purposes. There's you can just irrigate outright, so you don't need water going to it if you have one of these tiles, and mini tiles. And the third one is fertilized. So if an area is fertilized and it grows for whatever reason, you have the gardener move there, it'll grow 2 pieces, so it'll grow up twice. Bamboo can never get higher than 4 pieces high, and there's a ton of these pieces to use. Yeah, so that is Takenoko, number 36 on my countdown. A lot to it, but it's quite fun and a thinky fun game that's doesn't take itself too seriously. 36, Takenoko. Stay tuned for 35 for the kids.